first session of the day, and what a best way to start the session than a cracking 20-minute of special corporate address. It's a welcome note by Zaggle on the topic of the Fintech Advantage, accelerating procurement to save, the grow, and lead. And to present this on stage, I would like to call Ms. Anjali Desai, Vice President and Business Head from Zaggle Zoyer. A big round of applause to Ms. Anjali Desai. Can we have Anjali on stage, please? And Anjali is going to be the first presenter of the day. Not an easy task, but I'm sure she's going to be a fantastic speaker. She's going to entertain all of you, and she's going to share the very important aspects of it. So please, let's help Anjali encourage this. And as I said, the floor is open to questions. She will be taking questions once our session is over. All over to you, Anjali.
Thank you. So fintech in India and worldwide has been really disrupting the financial services, right? Whether it is related to payments, whether it is related to lending, whether it is related to any other aspects related to the financial services. Even as consumers, right, we have seen this change really play out. My son, who is a Gen Z, right, experimented with not carrying his wallet for a few days, and he could really survive very well, right? So I think what this has done for all of us is that the technology has enabled and made it extremely easy for us to really do some of these aspects, right? And while it has made our life extremely easy, because of technology, it has also brought in a lot of controls, a lot of aspects related to, you know, bringing in more tightness, right? Because the financial services need that kind of infrastructure to be able to really support that. Now, you know, also as consumers, we have really had the advantage of also, in a way, saving, right? In some ways. I'm sure if I just ask this question around to people here, that how many of you have really enjoyed the cashbacks? I think there will be a lot of people who would raise their hands, right? So apart from it giving you really convenience, controls, it has also made, you know, our life in a way little easier. It has given us back, right? When we are spending, it has also given us something back. Now imagine that if this is what it has done for all of us as consumers, what can really the fintech world, along with its twin buddy, which is your software, and what we call it a software as a service, right, a SaaS, can really do for corporates. And that's exactly what I'm going to talk today about. If you see worldwide, SaaS fintech companies have really disrupted the space related to a lot of aspects, right? And today I'm going to speak about spend management in particular. Now, if you really Google and figure out some of the companies like a Brex or a Pleo and, you know, many more internationally, they have really been disrupting the way that things work, right? And I'm going to talk about 4 client stories with you and really share with you how this disruption is really playing out, right? So I'm going to start with, can I just have the presentation? Yes. The first story that I'm going to talk about is Bajaj Electricals. We all know they are into electrical consumer appliances, almost 70, 80 years old company, right? Of course, as a manufacturing company, you need a ERP, and which they have. They also had some of the other solutions around that. Now, what was happening was that the vendors, right, in their case was the vendor who were already registered or who were going to get onboarded, that number was very high. It was in the range of about 25,000 vendors. Not everybody would be active, but as it happens, you know, you have some of the old vendors, etc., and you need them, right? And every year, there would be at least a 10% increase of the vendors that would happen. Now, what used to happen was that when you onboard them, there is, all of you would really resonate with this part, that there is a lot of work that is required, right? In terms of checking a few things, whether is that vendor a MSME, PAN, registration, GST, etc., etc. Even the penny drop, right? In the sense to validate the bank account, because you want that finally the money is paid to the right vendor. And we of course keep hearing about a lot of frauds in this area as well. So this was, what looks like a very simple statement, wherein you need something which is easy for vendor onboarding. You need something which is able to talk to the vendors in a way that vendors themselves can do some of these things and get themselves onboarded, so that there is a self-serve, right? The client's time doesn't go into some of these activities. At the same time, the technology enabling the whole vendor onboarding in terms of checking these real time. Now with, lot of the GST and all of that available, the checking, they wanted the technology to really do that. The second problem there was that the entire accounts payable function, right? While you have essentially a lot of invoices, and in their case, the invoice count was almost about 1.5 lakh to 2 lakh a year. Now these invoices could be PO based, non-PO based. There is a lot of effort that goes by the finance team in terms of checking. There is also a lot of time by the procurement team in terms of checking, approving, etc. Right? And that is exactly what we automated, wherein they would need a ERP, they would need their POs and GRNs to happen there, but they would want that a SaaS fintech platform helps them in this whole accounts payable automation by fetching maybe POs from the ERP, GRNs from the ERP, the three-way matching, checking, the supplier being part of this whole ecosystem. As I said, not just for the vendor onboarding as a self-service, but even for the advance shipment notice, etc., to be sent from the platform itself by the supplier. So we essentially automated this entire piece by integrating with their ERP. And I'm going to also talk about and share with you some of the hard numbers. But just before I do that, wanted to also talk about the Trident Group, which is of course a conglomerate. They are into multiple businesses, chemicals, paper, etc., etc. And in their case, and I'm just taking this whole story of the GRNs and the advance shipment notice further ahead, wherein what they needed was that, and I'm sure a lot of you from the manufacturing world will really resonate with that, is that this whole movement of, when the goods get delivered, right? The truck comes into your factory or wherever, you have essentially a lot of documents to be checked and all of that, right? Now this whole process, we actually automated by bringing in, again, the supplier to kind of send the advance shipment notice and along with that, a lot of their documents on the supplier portal. And through the barcode and some of the other technologies, we enabled the whole document tracking of when the truck comes into the factory till the entire QC and all of that happens. That whole process became extremely simple for them. That is what we did. We also managed their airway bills and things like that, and hence the documentation again around that. So essentially, the solution sits on top of a ERP and can automate and do a lot of things over here, right, for you. Now, let me also bring in a fintech angle over here, which is about the whole supply chain financing, right? Now, the supply chain financing, as we know, has aspect about the invoice discounting. It has at a vendor level doing, the discounting from a corporate side. Now, imagine that, I'm sure a lot of you already do this. Imagine doing this on a platform where you already have a procure to pay or a source to pay solution, and you have a, like a marketplace of banks available on the platform for doing this in a very easy way. Yeah, so we are just extending the entire source to pay to say that, we have also embedded the entire supply chain financing also as part of the entire platform and enabling that for you, so that again, it does a lot of things that some of our customers have managed to get it. So these are some of the hard numbers that we got it from them. You will realize that the numbers speak about how they reduced really their cost of processing, which means whether it is the procurement team's time, whether it is their accounts payable team's time, whether it is their business team's time, all of those put together, they could manage to really reduce that. They could bring down some of the other license fees. They could, save money over there, and that is exactly what my point was, that the SaaS fintech can really do all of this and more for you. Moving on, I'm going to talk about the next customer story with you. And here, when I spoke about the fintech disruption, right, NPCI also has done one more innovative thing, which is called Bharat Connect. And I'm sure all of us as consumers already use that, right? So the Bharat Connect is used for making all your utility bill payments, like an electricity bill. We don't now anymore stand in the queue and really make the payment, right? Bharat Connect has done that for us with a click of a button. And we do that on a GPay or a Paytm or any of these apps. Now what we have done is we have extended this whole ecosystem that NPCI has created to corporates. Yeah? And I'm going to talk about Blinkit over here. So Blinkit, as we all know, right, we all use the quick commerce, which is again another innovation from India to the world. And with the quick commerce, of course, what you need is a lot of dark stores and all of that. Now Blinkit, as of today, has more than 1,300, 1,400 dark stores all over India, right? And they have disrupted the space. Now what we have done for them is that, imagine the earlier process used to be that the person who is either an admin head or someone who is like a store manager or a store head, the dark store head, would actually send these bills, the utility bills, to the head office, right? And the head office, the finance team, accounts payable team, or maybe someone from the admin team or a procurement team would look at those bills, do all the due diligence, and go ahead and pay it. It is that simple a process, right? But in real life, it is never simple, right? There are challenges around this. The person went on leave, and hence the bill was not sent. He did not receive the bill copy, so the bill did not reach. So many such scenarios that happen in the real life, and imagine the kind of impact that will have to a business like Blinkit if their dark store really became dark, right? With no electricity over there, with this kind of a discontinuation of a problem. Now, the way we really solved this for them is that through Bharat Connect, again, we could, configure all their billers, we could get their data, they could get the visibility, could get the reminders, and this whole process became extremely streamlined for them, right? Now, जैसे बोलते हैं ना वो दाल में तड़का. So the fintech tadka on this was that while we did all of this, because we are experts in making payments, what we also, are doing for them is that we said, we are experts, leave even the making payment part to us. So while our software with Bharat Connect is able to do all this process automation for you, we as a fintech company can even take care of the last mile, which is making the payment for you on your behalf, right? Because we are the experts. And that is exactly what we have done. So imagine the kind of impact that we'll have is that the complete, process which was in-house. With the software, you get the visibility, you get the trends, you want to know that, suddenly in the dark store, where has the electricity spend gone up, why that has gone up, you want to analyze, reduce, etc., and have the controls of approvals, but the entire processing of this whole thing, you are outsourcing to an expert who can do that job for you and completely 100% reduce your cost of processing. Before I show you the actual numbers over there, I want to talk about one more story, which is related to the UPI payments, which is again, as I said, UPI is an innovation from India to the world. Our Prime Minister very proudly shows it off, right, to every visiting delegate that comes to India, right? Just click of a button, the payment is done. Again, this is something which has disrupted the consumer experience. What we have done is we've taken this to the corporates and given, a complete ease of use for them. I want to talk here about two of our clients which are here. One is Vishal Mart and the other one is Star Agri. Vishal Mart, which is now called as V-Mart, I'm sure in Delhi you would have visited some store sometime, right? So they have in India about 600, 700 stores. They keep on increasing that. So there is an entire team who is responsible for increasing their stores. Now, what happens is in each of these stores, you can imagine there are a lot of local expenses that happen in the store, right? Which is, so the word I always find, which is a bit paradoxical in the sense that it's called as petty expense, but actually it is never petty, right? If you really see in some of these customers, monthly expense per store can even go up to about 1 lakh of rupees, yeah? And I will also talk about in the same line about a customer called Star Agri, which are into an end-to-end agricultural business. They have about 2,000 warehouses, right? Now imagine that each of these warehouse and each of the other offices that they have these local expenses. Now what happens with these local expenses, petty expenses as they are called as, is that you give cash, and you will all appreciate this fact that cash is equal to chaos, right? Because it requires reconciliation, it requires that every last penny is accounted for. You want to know that there are no leakages, vestiges that are happening. You want to know that, and you want to make sure that they spend as per the policy. And one example that one of the client was quoting, that they, just to encourage the staff over there, they said that if the sale is above a certain level, you all can do a samosa party. And he said that then the samosa party started becoming every day. Okay, so it is. So there are a lot of vestiges. We also have heard cases like you need to do some small repairs, but actually the bill is of some faraway store. Now these may look like, oh, they are small, but as we say, that wo boon boon se hi sagar banta hai kind of a thing, right? So I think that is exactly what we really solve for them, wherein you don't have to give them any cash. You have like a company pool account, yeah, where you keep your money. You give people only a mobile app, yeah, and they will make the payment using UPI. Real time, it will deduct the money from this digital wallet. I hope you are audible. It gets deducted. Before it gets deducted, there are 12 checks that we do, yeah. Checks like, is this person allowed to spend so much? Is there a per day limit? Is it as per that? For what kind of expenses can he do that spend? If you need a pre-approval, because some people also say that, oh, this spend is high, I will need a pre-approval before that spend is done. You can, configure that. You can even say, even if the fact that, they will also have receipts and you want them to submit that. You can even set up a rule to say that even though his limit is say 10,000 rupees, if he does not submit receipts worth 3,000 rupees, he's not allowed to utilize the remaining 7,000 rupees. Yeah. So there are all these kind of controls and the ease, right? Because finally you are able to make the payment through UPI, and now in India everybody accepts UPI and they're happy to accept a UPI, right? So I think these are some of the innovative things that a fintech and a SaaS, like I said, is able to really do that. These are some of the numbers from what we understood from Blinkit as their testimony. Remember, some of the numbers like a 16 lakh plus kind of payment discounts they could get, which earlier they were not able to get it. They're talking about 75% better control and visibility in the first month itself. Yeah, so these are really the hard numbers which our customers have shared with us, and I'm proudly kind of sharing those back with you. Sorry, a small glitch. I want to talk about this last story over here, and then I'll be happy to take the questions. So this is the story about how some of these customers have used a simple instrument of a credit card and really tried to save, right? Earlier I spoke about the cashbacks, right? As consumers, we have enjoyed that. Again, why not extend that to corporates and be able to kind of get some kind of a saving in some of your large spends? Like Azha Fashion has a large marketing spend, right? Some of the companies who are into online solutions, etc., have a large AWS or a Google and those kind of payments. What if we could, make them through the card and ensure that you get something back, right? Otherwise, you are always used to only paying. Why not get something in back? That is one. The second is we also have a travel and expense solution, right? Which is again the SaaS solution, which does everything that otherwise a SaaS solution does and more, of course. Yes, you can do a self-booking travel, self-booking. It has a self-booking tool. You can do your own bookings. You can put in a trip request. You can do the reimbursements. There is an AI into that. By the way, even in our source-to-pay solution, the AI plays a key role, because I spoke about controls and I spoke about reducing the efforts, and AI is a big aspect to that. So all of those are given and those are there, and those take care of some of these things. Again, like I said, what is really the plus over here is, one, you can give credit card to all your employees so that whenever they have to make the expenses, they can do that with that card. The advantages for the company, for the employee, it is again easy because he doesn't have to spend it from his own pocket. For the company, you used to have a challenge that how do we get the credit card statements into the system quickly so that those get settled, because if the company is going to pay for those credit cards, you also want that the statement comes in quickly. It's the challenge that I have heard many companies share with us. The way we solve is, because we are a network partner with Visa and Master, right? Remember, being a fintech, we directly work with them and we are able to get the data feed directly, which in India, by the way, there are not many people who are able to do that. You have to depend on the local, the individual bank of the company to be able to do that, which is again integration. In our case, it is a direct feed from these network partners. Hence, it makes it very simple and easy for you to even go ahead and reconcile and have the control. The other way that you can really use us in terms of the credit card is for your partner, whoever is your travel partner, you can give them a CTA card. I'm sure you would have heard this a lot of times. And the CTA card can really ensure that you get complete visibility. So we, along with the CTA card, we also give Zatix, which is our analytics platform. You are able to get complete visibility into every cancellation that happens. And remember, cancellation is equal to leakage. And you want to really plug that, right? Any travel cancellation. And that is exactly where we help. I know I have a buzzer, so we'll go quickly. That is who we are. Zaggle, we are a listed company on NSE, BSE, 5,000 crore market cap, have multiple solutions as part of our bouquet, if I can call that, whether it is sourcing, procure to pay, travel and expense. We have credit cards, prepaid cards. You would see that we are the #1 prepaid card issuer in the country, among all, even including all the banks. We are in the top this thing. So that is who we are. We also have solutions related to employee tax benefits, and we have solutions related to the rewards platform, wherein the rewards can be either for your dealers, distributors, or it could be for your own sales team. It's a complete incentives and all of that calculation, along with this whole rewards and handling of and the distribution of this. Yeah, that is who we are. Very, very impressive financial numbers, a very stable company. We've been around for about 12 years, and we are around, happy to talk to you further on any of these use cases. Thank you so much, gentlemen and ladies.
Thank you, and can we have one more round of a big applause for Anjali? Anjali, I request you to kindly come on stage. I'm not going to let you go so quickly. So, ladies and gentlemen, that was Anjali Desai, Vice President and Business Head from Zaggle Zoyer, for that wonderful presentation. First presenter of the day and a very fantastic session. I would also like to request all of you that Anjali and the entire team of Zaggle is here for the entire duration. They have a beautiful stall. Please do take out time from your schedules, and please do visit their booth to know more about their solution from Anjali and her team, and I'm sure they're going to help you throughout the day with that. And now, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to call on stage Mr. Sachin Apte, Chief Procurement Officer, and from Pipe and Steel Vertical Procurement and Stores Division from Welspun World. Can we have Sachinji here, please? A big round of applause, Sachinji. Sachinji, if you could kindly felicitate Anjali for that wonderful session. And can we have the certificate, please? A big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. That was Anjali Desai, Vice President and Business Head, Zaggle, on that fantastic session on the Fintech Advantage, accelerating procurement to save, grow and lead.